John Horrigan with George Kimball, writer of the Boston Herald. First of all, George, I can speak on behalf of a lot of people in the New England area who love your column that is really putting two fingers on the pulse of boxing in this region, and keep up the good work.
Well, thank you. Thanks.
George, tonight, Peter Hurricane McNeely, 27-1. This is not the first time you've seen him. Could you tell us a little bit your impressions about his previous fights and leading up to this one?
Well, he's got an unquestioned... he's unquestionably got a lot of power. The things we don't know about are his defense, which really hasn't been tested, his stamina, which didn't look particularly good the one time he had to go a lot longer than he'd planned on. I mean, he's been knocking out people so quick. I think there's still a lot of questions to be answered about Peter, and I'm not sure that we're going to find the answers tonight against J.B. Williamson.
The cut he suffered. Tell me what you thought about that fight, if it should have been stopped, and is that cut going to affect him during his career?
Historically, those things can come back to haunt you. I mean, plastic surgery doesn't work real well on boxers. I mean, if you've cut once like that, the odds are that you're going to cut again. So yeah, it's something that could hurt him in the future.
Now let's look at his career. He signed with Don King. What's up with that? How does that affect him positively and negatively?
Well, positively, I mean, obviously the money. There's a certain signing bonus involved. He'll be getting some bigger money fights, and presumably will probably start appearing in the rankings here and there too. King has a lot of juice with the controlling bodies. From the negative standpoint, there's inevitably a sacrifice in the control of the career of a boxer when you align yourself with King. And Vin Vecchione, of course, maintains that he's kept control of McNeely, but there are a lot of people who have thought the same thing and found out differently once they get further involved in this relationship.
What about Peter's opponents? Some of them, admittedly, have been on the weaker side. Somebody like this J.B.
Some of them have been barely lukewarm bodies. J.B. Williamson is a little more useful than that. He was a very good fighter 10 years ago. In fact, briefly held a light heavyweight title. But he's well past his prime. I don't expect him to give Peter much of a test. But at the same time, it says more about the people that Peter's been fighting than it does about J.B. Williamson, that this is legitimately a step up in caliber.
And finally, I didn't want to use this term, but this is the first time we said it tonight, the Great White Hope. Is he? Does it matter? Why are they always looking for the Great White Hope?
Yeah, I think Don King's always looking for a Great White Hope too. I mean, it depends a lot on how he's moved. I'd like to hope that they're going to develop and maybe take care of him a little bit. Or, I mean, the other thing that's always in the back of your mind is Mike Tyson comes walking out of jail a year from now. He's going to be looking for some raw meat. And I hope this isn't what Peter McNeely turns out to be.
Yeah, fodder for Mike Tyson. Finally, the circus that will take place tomorrow night featuring Roberto 93 wins Duran versus Vinny Pazienza. Well,
this is... What this fight is about is guys trying to preserve themselves as marquee fighters. I mean,
let's face it. If Paz hits him hard enough, formaldehyde's going to leak out of the guy's ears.
Well, and the reverse is also true. I mean, you got two guys who are clearly past their primes, but still command a sizable following, and one of them's going to still have a following after this thing's over.
Great. George Kimball, ladies and gentlemen, from the Boston Herald. Read it, live it, understand it, be it. Thank you very much, George.
Hey, thanks.
Okay, we'll be right back after this.